Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. We're going to be doing something interesting today. I actually already started it last night, but well, we'll get into everything that's happening. It should be relatively interesting. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, but we're going to get it done. So let's just go right ahead into the development after I do these ads. This programming is funded by viewers like you and by the US federal government. No, I'm kidding. I only wish. Anyway, before we get started, Alchemortis is available for wishlisting on Steam, so go ahead and wishlist that if you're interested. It's a dark fantasy roguelite auto battler. I also have the Patreon, which is available for you to join if you want to support the project financially. If you subscribe at this top tier here, the sponsor tier, you will get an Alchemortis Steam key for the full game at launch, as well as your name in the in-game credits. So if that sounds interesting, definitely check it out. You can also check out this tier here just for some slightly fewer benefits here. But everything helps for sure. And also I have my Udemy courses available for sale. They will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine, so I hope you consider checking that out if you've been interested in learning Godot. And beyond that, you can join the Discord, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. All these things are linked in the description below. So we will, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the ads. So hello, RN Genesis, welcome back. Clicker Tail, welcome, welcome. Hello, V. I'm alchemizing alchemy, I am. Hello, Hylaw, good to see you. Trayson, help me escape my 6:30 a.m. meeting. Yeah, you could just sever the internet cable going to your house, but there may be side effects there. I'm assuming you're working from home. Maybe you're at the office at 6:30 a.m. But welcome back. Hello, Emerson. Good morning. Rookie Tookie, hello, hello. Yummers, hello, Snupbill. Internet connection here has been really bad, so no donation. That's all right. I appreciate you joining. Always good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Meep. Yummers, yes. Yeah, you blocked the Yummers. Yummers. So you support the federal government. Good afternoon. He supports the federal funding. It's very easy. When the government sends me money, I like it. When they send other people money, I don't. It's very simple. A very principled stance. Anyway. Hello, Kenyaz, by the way. Welcome back. Hello, Neozoid. Good to see you. Okay. I'm almost out of coffee. But anyway, let's go ahead and do what we're doing. Oh, no. Let's go ahead and see what we're doing. So I'm reworking how the alchemy in the game works here. So, since the game is called Alchemortis, but you can only engage with alchemy, you know, by visiting the nodes on the map, I was like, well, I kind of want to just lean entirely into the alchemy hook. And I tried this experiment a little bit earlier, but basically what I'm doing again, now that some things in the game have changed, is I am making the alchemy always available. So this was something that I attempted previously, but I dropped it because there was a bunch of other stuff that was wrong with the game. But now that the game is taking more shape and I've done some balance changes and the map is bigger and all this stuff, now I've made it so that you can pull up the alchemy at any time here. And you can alchemize anything at any time. So what I want to do is I have it so that these alchemy nodes here will increase the alchemy board size. So for example, if I go to a tier 2 alchemy, it will increase this board size here to 3x2, I think. And if I go to a tier 3 alchemy, it'll become 3x3, so on and so forth. So you can upgrade this board size in the same way that you can upgrade this board size by visiting nodes on the map. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make the alchemy cost money based on the number of inputs that you have. So that's going to be another attempt to prevent the player from getting super strong cards all the time. you're still going to need to save up some money, engage in some combats to do it. So I'm thinking it'll be a relatively low fee, but there will be a fee for each alchemy that you do. And it will be based probably on the number of occupied cells. So let's just say that it's 2 blood per cell. So the skeleton warrior, this would cost 4. And then if you put another 1x2 here, it would cost 4. So the total cost would be 8, something like that. So that way, if you're using like a really big card, which is typically very powerful, it's going to cost more just right off the bat. But if you want to throw like 4 things into the alchemy pot, if you want to maximize your, potential output, it's going to cost more money. So that's one thing that's not implemented yet that I want to do. And then so these alchemy nodes, I mentioned that these will change the size of the board. I'm actually going to change that. I'm going to change the event entirely. I'm going to lean more into alchemical reagents. So I've started building this new alchemy event. It's going to be like a reagent event here. I've just drawn the silhouette here, but basically what it's going to be is it's just going to be like this little plant in the ground here. And so you uproot the plant, the roots come out, so on and so forth, and then there will be a grid here, just like the booster output, which will have alchemical reagents. So there could be a number of reagents. One reagent would be, for instance, to increase the alchemy board size, so that's where that's going to come from. One reagent could be to make the alchemy output make the alchemy operation free, so it doesn't cost you any blood. One of the reagents could be that lead ingot, right, which guarantees a legendary output. And so if I can just do like a dozen or so of those alchemical reagents, I think that will be, I think that'll be a little bit more interesting. So these nodes will go away. These alchemy nodes here will go away, and those will turn into that reagent event type instead. So hopefully that goes well. Still a lot to do, obviously, but I think that's the direction I'm going to go with it. I have been playtesting this a little bit, and I think it does feel better to be able to alchemize whenever you want. So yeah, lots of stuff there that I mentioned. There's lots of stuff to do. So we're just going to be working toward getting more of that done. Alchemore this, yeah. Hello, Artem. Are you replacing the alchemy nodes with something else then? Yeah, I just went over that. That's an old chat. Increasing alchemy costs for cards that have already been alchemized before. Yeah, there's all kinds of opportunities to change the costs, but looks spiffy. Glad you like it. So yeah, any thoughts on any of that? Feel free to leave your feedback in the chat, but I do think that it's kind of weird for this game to be called Alchemortis, and then like the alchemy is kind of just like one of the many things you can interact with. I think it makes more sense to make it available always. And then we'll just balance around that fact. We'll just balance around that. And I think the cost for alchemy is going to be one critical thing to balance, because you might have 20 blood and a big alchemy board, so you just throw 4 or 5 cards in there, you spend all of your blood, and you get an output, and now you've got to go and save up some more money. But there's also other opportunities to spend money, right? You got to balance. Do you want to spend money at the shop? Do you want to spend money doing alchemy? Do you want to, all that stuff? Yes, I agree, more alchemy. Agreed, every game needs a trademark. Yours is the alchemy. Yeah, that's what I figured. So I think it's going to be worth the effort to change all this stuff. Relic, mayhap, detrimental 1. Everything you loot in the stash is automatically alchemized. GLHF. Oh, that would be interesting, actually. That'd be interesting. My cat is staring at me right now. What do you want? What do you want? What? Oh my goodness. Every time when I start streaming, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much attention I pay to you in the morning. It's every day. It's every day, huh, bud? What? What? Do you have something to say? Do you have something to say? No? Okay. He wants to say hi, yeah. Brush my folds, ew. So, I think... I'm trying to think of what the next logical step here would be. I haven't yet made this cost money, so maybe that's the next thing to do. Yeah, that's probably the next thing to do. We'll make this cost money. And then I think just building out some more alchemical reagents is going to be good, which is, the nice thing is I can just build those as cards, so those don't need to be like super fancy. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll make this cost some money. So, oh, and I have to do some like polish stuff too, like when the alchemy is closed, it needs to have like an out animation. We'll figure all that out in a second, I guess. But let's see. I do need to have an HBox container here. Let me do this actually. I'm just going to go ahead and copy something. Price plaque. Copy this. Okay, that's not right. Okay, that'll work. We're going to change this layout to 11. Okay. This clickable control visibility. Well, maybe we'll just make it always available. Okay, so this price label here, we're going to need to grab that. Private label, price label. I love my cat's forehead wrinkles. Yeah. I googled alca in Latin means bird and mortis means death. Was that not what is intended? Well, it's not alca, A-L-C-A, it's A-L-C-H-E. So it's like a, what is that word? A portmanteau of alchemy and mortis. Alcatraz is also a bird, makes sense. Yeah, it's A-L-C-H-E, not A-L-C-A. Oops. Okay, so let's just do this for now. Private constant cost per cell 2. Are you changing the gameplay direction for the alchemy, or is it more of a technical overhaul? It's going to function the same. So the way it functions isn't changing. It's just going to be available always. board inventory component card placed plus equals on. Do I need to do? I forgot what signals I have available. Now, what in the heck? Is this not used anywhere? Why was that? Oh, I see. Grid changed, grid changed. Grid changed, okay. So card placed and card removed, okay. On card removed. And this needs to be base card. Okay, go. It's base card and at position for this one. This is just base card. So we'll do private void update cost. Bar cost is equal to board inventory component. No. Board inventory component. Get cards on board dot sum card dot relative occupied cells dot count times cost per cell. Okay, and then let's create a private int for that. Private int current cost. We'll have to add some extra logic in here, but we don't need to do that just yet. And then we're going to say price label dot text is equal to current cost dot toString. Update cost here. Update cost there. All right, let's see if that works. I'm gonna add some cards here. That's fine. So we're gonna need to have this add clickable validator. So I'm actually gonna want to do this. Var is valid equals that. Var can afford is equal to currency manager dot has blood. I guess I'll want to, well, private int get current cost. Oh wait, I can just, never mind. What am I doing? Return is valid and can afford. And then invalid clicked. If not, currency manager dot has blood current cost. Not enough blood. Okay, that should work, but let's just see if this is working. So I put the heart on here, 2. Okay, let's just call update cost here. Hello, Smash Wall. How many wishlist gained during Steam Next Fest is good, bad, mid score in your opinion? I have no idea. I have no idea. I wish I could give you a better answer, but I guess it depends on a lot of factors, I'm sure, but I'm not a Steam marketing wizard, so I don't know the answer to that question. 2, 6. Okay, so that's looking good. And if I remove a card, it doesn't work. Why does that not work? On card removed, update cost. Is this not... Maybe that's not working the way I think it is. Emit signal card removed. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it doesn't ever emit this card removed. Interesting. Okay. So since this is not used anywhere, I guess I'm getting rid of that. Board state updated. Actually, I wonder if I should just... It kind of worries me that I haven't used this signal anywhere, but let's do emit signal card removed base card. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know why I haven't used that signal at all yet. Kind of shocking to me, actually. That's all right. That's all right. Let's just see if it works. Yeah, that works. So I've also added some validation in here where I can't close this window until I remove the stuff from the Alchemy board. That includes the Alchemy output. So I literally can't close anything until I grab my Alchemy. So I'm just going to make sure that you don't lose any cards, and also prevents players from using the Alchemy as extra storage. Maybe there's a more elegant way to handle that, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, so we got the cost working. We're gonna worry about the visuals, the playing in and out, and all that stuff. Maybe I can make it invisible if the cost is 0. Maybe I'll do that. So let's do this. Price container. That'll be a little stopgap for now. So update cost. We're gonna do price container dot visible is equal to current cost is greater than 0. And then we'll grab a reference to that. Node private control price no. Price container. Okay. So I think that's looking good. So yeah, now it just won't show that price until there's actually a cost. I think that's good for now. Okay. So I think, what's the next thing to do? I mean, we got to play test that, but I really think this system is not going to come together until I have the Alchemy reagents. So yeah, maybe we can just pivot to working on that some more. Just get that roughly in place. I don't think it's going to take that long. I am going to need to set up a whole different event for it, but that's all right. So we'll synchronize, or no, we'll push those changes. And then we'll go back to this. And I guess, yeah, let's just figure out how to do this. We'll just do some highlighting in here, I suppose, to get rid of this. All right, let's see what I can do here. We'll finish up this art and then we'll get it implemented as an event in the game. See how it goes. Okay. How's everyone doing today? Anyone? Oh, I never know what to say when I'm doing this. Maybe I should just narrate every pixel that I place. Okay, that'll work. May actually make this one lighter. Maybe that'll work. Well, that looks decent. That'll work. Oops. Okay. So now this plant here. What am I doing? All right, this plant here. Probably actually going to need to isolate this. Let's do that now before I forget. That's not what I want, but that's all right. Okay. Let me think. Okay. That's probably all right. Alrighty. I think that's looking good. So then I just need to do the roots. Well, I also need to place some little highlights here and there. Okay, go do the same on the background. I think it's decent. I don't know. Not too sure of the shading on these things, but that's all right. Okay, so now let's do the roots. All right. I don't know exactly how I want to do this. Isn't this riveting, everybody? That's riveting. But once this art is done, we'll be able to create the event for this. Go into that code, which I haven't touched in a while, so it's probably going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Figure out how in the world I did the things that I did. I actually think I can probably largely just replace the existing alchemy event I have with this. It'll just be a little bit of an unknown, that's all. Oh, goodness. Okay. Almost done. Almost done. All right. I think that's largely okay. Should be fine. All right, now we just got to add some rando highlights. Okay. Oh, I forgot to shade this entire thing down here. This could use a little bit more as well. Okay, I think that's looking good. We can just call it good there. Okay. So I'm probably going to need to split this up a little bit, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Okay. Cool. Alrighty then. So let's export those. Export layers. We'll see how that goes. Did it not do anything? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Now we're good. So if I go to UI, event, nope. Oh, it's in here. It's still in the Alchemy folder. Let me do this actually. I'm gonna move some things around. So assets UI reagent, save it in its own directory here. Export layers again. Any day now. Any day now. Thank you. So now they're all here. Okay. So now that that's done, basically what I need to do is create a new event. So in the same way that I've got the enchant container here, I basically need to do something like this for the reagent screen. And then, yeah, we want to make it functional. So we're going to probably have to build a couple of reagent cards. Maybe I'll just do them with like placeholder art to start. But yeah, I think it will work. I think it will work. So it's going to be actually more similar to the booster, I think. Where there's three options. We're not going to make it have 3 options, but it's going to be more like this, where when you click on a booster, you get cards out of it. That's what's going to happen with the reagent. So yeah, we're going to have to set that up. So I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break here. And when I come back... Oh, I see. I was like, why am I not getting any chats? Okay, hold on. I missed a bunch of chats. My stream thing stopped. Okay, hold on. Let me reply to this. I missed all these chats because my stream chat bugged. Oh no. Okay. Let me see if I can catch. Here, let me do something really quick. Unable. Why is everything breaking? Why is everything breaking? All right, let me respond to these chats. 3 million wish lists. Permanent Alchemy is back. Yes. Good morning, Asymmetrics. Yeah, we're putting Alchemy as permanent again. Why are the 2 inventory icons together? It's just a placeholder right now for the Alchemy. Hello, Mio Leo Dev. What's the current issue again? So we're just doing permanent Alchemy. We're doing an overhaul of the Alchemy system, making it always available, and then we will use reagents for controlling Alchemy outcomes. Doing fine, almost finished the localization system. Narrate a mental diary of when you're in elementary whenever you're doing highlighting. Chat is free therapist. How long have you been doing pixel art? Looks so effortless. A couple years at this point now. Thank you, Brown Hounds. Appreciate that. We're switching to winter this time Saturday where I live, so basically not see the sun until May next year, so there's that. Uh-oh. Stock on vitamin D. How did you choose this particular color palette? I just found something I liked on low spec. That's all I did. Hello, Ninja Link. Welcome. Yes, Kineas is back. Let's see. Where will the plants go? They'll just go in the middle of the screen. I joined the Sideways monitor cult yesterday. Oh no. No music today? I think there's music. Is it not playing music? Just very quiet on my PC. Gotcha. Used to have a Sideways monitor, but then I upgraded size and can't turn it anymore because it hits my desk from the wall mount. I have to have small monitors because I get a lot of motion sickness from gaming, especially in first person. My death was greatly exaggerated. Is that the root of my problems? Yeah, my chat did bug. I thought I was getting no chats, but it's because AWS is down, yeah. Chat's not popping up on screen. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna go on a quick 3-minute break. Part of that break, I will try to fix that. So I'm gonna try to get that fixed so I don't miss any more of your chats and so I can continue highlighting them. And then when we come back, we're gonna actually implement that screen. So sorry for missing the chats. It wasn't my fault. The tech bugged out on me, so I had to go to the standard YouTube chat, but I'll be right back in just 3 minutes and we will continue on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry again about the chat issues, but I think they're fixed now. I'll go for a 3-minute break equals I'll break everything in 3 minutes. Couldn't be more true, I guess. We could have had so many handshake deals while he was not looking. Oh, it fixed itself. I think it was the man behind the machine fixing it, not on its own. Every time I see the intermission screen, I really want to know more about that shooter dice looking game. It's on my itch.io page, firebelly.itch.io. It's called Ace of Sphinx. It was a GMTK 2023 entry, I think. And fun fact, that game made it as some B-roll footage in Mark Brown's video. It was not one of the top 20 games that he chose, but it was briefly shown in the video for like 3 seconds. So I'll call that one a win. A test, yes, we're back. Okay. Now, hopefully I won't miss the chats. Dang technology. Okay, so what we're going to need to do here is create a new event. So we're going to create scenes. Where is this actually? UI. Okay, we'll create a new folder. Reagent. Create a new scene. I'm just do like a VBox container, I guess. I don't know. Scene name, reagent, event, reagent container. Create. All right, so now we got to pull these things in. Let me think. Okay, we got a reference rect. Let's go all the way back to our reagents. Let's bring all these over. Okay. Node 2D. Visuals. Okay, so we got the background here. We're going to turn all these offsets off. Okay. So we'll put that there. We'll take the plant. These need to be under the visuals. Plant. Actually, you know what I should do is I should export this reagents mockup here. Mockup selection. We can bring this in over here. There we go. We'll put this behind the visuals. Okay. Now we can actually get this working. So put that there. Plant needs to go in visuals. Okay. I can delete the reagents mockup now. All right, then this reference rect here. How big does this need to be? So we're going to take this. (118) by 69. Nice. Okay, so there's our little thing now. We are going to need to do a clickable control. I'm going to try this. Mouse behavior recursive disabled, mouse filter ignore, then this mouse behavior recursive enabled. This is so confusing, man. This is like the story of Godot. They add a new feature. It looks promising. It's super confusing. Anyway, I'm not salty about it. So this plant here is what? 49 by 34. Okay, and then we'll just take this and we will drop it like it's hot. Outline target, plant, visibility toggle targets, use right click, click on release. I don't think I need any of that. I don't think I need any of that. Okay, so we've got our clickable control now. So obviously this doesn't do anything yet. We need to create a scripts UI reagent folder. Scripts UI, oops. UI, create new folder, reagent. Okay, so now I should be able to add this. Scripts UI reagent, game.ui.reagent. Reagent container, we have a clickable control. Okay. We're going to need to animate this all in, obviously, but we'll just get a script attached there for now. Mark this as unique name. Okay. So now we need to go to my game UI. Public reagent container, create reagent container. Resource preloader, add child, cool. This needs to be right half container. Okay, so now I need to go to my game UI. Add this reagent container. I can get rid of the Alchemy container. Okay, That should work. Now we need to create a reagent event state machine. So Alchemy event state machine, copy this, create new file, reagent event state machine, paste this in here. Reagent event state machine, private reagent container, reagent container. Reagent container is equal to game UI dot create, no, context dot game UI dot create reagent container. Okay, we don't need to do this, and we don't need to do that. All right, so now we go to the run manager here. Run manager. Just trying to get this all wired up before I do anything. What is it called? Create event state machine context. Get state machine for event. Event type, we'll do reagent equals 12. Case event type dot reagent. Event state machine is equal to new reagent event state machine break. Okay, that'll work. Map generator. Let's change this to reagent. Let's change this to reagent. Valid event types, reagent. Map node audio manager, we're going to have to do that as well, but that's all right. This can be reagent here. Event type dot reagent. Reagents. All right, so now I need to go and do, what do I need to do? I think I need to create a resource. Let's see, resource, map, nope. Event configuration, here we go. Let's duplicate this one. Reagent. Event to readable, why is that? I don't know why these are in different places, but that's all right. Alchemical. Reagents, let's make this unique. And then this is a, oh, I need to build this. Let's build. Our favorite niche eCeleb is back, yes. I can't call myself performant unless I watch you. Very nice. Hi, have a nice day, everyone. Hello, Polaris, always good to see you. Was playing with tree and tree item nodes the other day. Kind of slick, though you have to code every setting. Oh, yeah. Dogs in nature, hello. Nice you use C#. Yes, I do. Better than GDScript, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. Hello, Michael. With C# you get... Okay, we're doing this again. We're doing this again, Emerson. Hello, Paul. Would you say, generally speaking, that a C# project is easier to manage in the long run than a GDScript one? I enjoy prototyping in GDScript, but I'm considering a switch for the actual game. Yeah, it's... I mean, it depends on what the scale of your game is. I think that you could probably make like... I mean, I think you can make any game that you want to make with GDScript. I think that C# does become easier to manage, though, especially if you've got some more complex systems in your game. Like, I would say that Alchemortis is reasonably complex in terms of how all the abilities work and everything. And I think it would just be a lot messier to try to do that in GDScript than C#. But, you know, I think that there's plenty of games that are very successful on Steam that were made in Godot using GDScript, so... But yeah, I personally think it's easier, for sure. I like C style languages, but I dislike Godot's C#. I like Unity, for instance, has workarounds against C# garbage collection stuff. Gotcha, yeah. Lamau, yeah. I think the next version of C# is supposed to come with an improved garbage collection, which is going to be like smarter garbage collection, which I've heard is going to be especially beneficial for games, but we'll see. We'll see. We're just going to keep this icon the same for now. I got to redraw that or draw a new thing, but okay, now let's just see if we can get that to work, if anything breaks. Let me just regenerate the map a couple times. Here's one. Alchemical reagents. It's too far away though, I don't want to go that far. Do I have to generate a test map, really? I guess I'm gonna have to generate a test map. All right. Generate test map on, test map node type is 12. No, Godot C# does not use mono anymore. It uses .NET. It hasn't used mono for, I think, since version 4. It's still called mono, like when you download it, like this says 4.5.1 stable mono, but my understanding is that it's not using mono at all anymore. GDScript has the same sin Python has, indented syndex without braces. What algorithm do you use to connect the points in your map? Some kind of nearest neighbor thing. So the way that it works is I do a Delaunay triangulation, which basically takes a bunch of points and it connects them all with edges such that the edges don't cross at all. And then what I do is I find a minimum spanning tree, which is just a tree that is guaranteed to contain every node within it. So every node is visited once in the tree. And so what I do is I take all of those Delaunay edges and I strip away all of the edges except for the ones that consist of the minimum spanning tree. So what that does is that, again, ensures that every node is visitable. And then what I do is I go back and I randomly add edges from the Delaunay triangulation back in to create multiple edges going to multiple nodes, right? So I have a guarantee that none of the edges are going to cross. I have a guarantee that all the nodes are visitable, and adding edges back into the map will just add some more pathways for the player to consider. That's basically it. It's relatively simple. Just using some basic graph theory stuff. Okay, let's see if this works. Boom! It kind of works. I did it wrong. Here, let's see. I think I need to set this layout container sizing to shrink center and shrink center. There we go. So there we go. So we've got the plant in here. The roots are not going to be visible until this clicks. So the idea is that you'll click the plant, it will do like a little shake, maybe some leaf particles will come out, and then it will get uprooted from the ground. And these will this root will kind of serve as the backdrop for a board to contain the alchemical reagents. So, but it's in the game, and that's good. Do you have a guarantee that you won't get just get a line? Yes, I do. I believe. Simple, he says. Love hearing technical game dev talk while working. Yeah. I mean, it's simple when it comes to graph theory. If you don't know anything about graph theory, then, you know, you'll have to learn that. But it's probably one of the most important things you can learn. The two most important mathematical things you can learn, I think, for game dev is learn the unit circle and learn graph theory. Those two things, I think. Linear algebra, obviously, but I think the unit circle kind of dives into linear algebra to some extent. So now we need to make this so that when I click it, it will create a board. And I'm going to have to borrow the booster. Let's just do this. Add reagent event into game. You wouldn't happen to be able to share any of that code, right? I've figured out placing my points using Poisson, but connecting them without overlap I'm very much struggling with. If you just look up Delaunay triangulation, so I'll put it in the chat. I think it's Delaunay triangulation. So Delaunay triangulation, there's C# packages that do it. Delaunay triangulation is built into the Godot geometry class. So basically you just pass in a list of points and it returns all of the edges that connect all the points such that they don't overlap. So you actually don't need to implement that yourself, the Delaunay triangulation. There are libraries that do it for you. But you can look up, you know, Stack Overflow or whatever, minimum spanning tree. You'll find all the explanations for all that. My code is just basically a boilerplate, like, here's a minimum spanning tree. It's very, very typical. What the heck is a unit circle? I've never heard this term before. Yeah, it's basically just it's a circle with a radius of 1, and it's kind of dissected into like, you know, here's pi over 2 radians, and here's the vector at pi over 2 and pi over 8, and like, it's a nice way of like visualizing cosine and sine and all that stuff. The thing that's nice about it is because it's a unit circle, everything's like, it's based on 1, right? So your vector pointing from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle is always going to be a length of 1, but then you can analyze the components, right? You can say that, oh, the x component of this is like 1 over the square root of 2 or whatever. I don't remember the exact increments, but it's just a nice way of visualizing like how a vector can point in all the different directions and how the circle is divided up into radians. And again, you know, understanding sine and cosine being the x and y components of the vector, such and such. Just Googling what a unit circle is. Thanks, I don't see it in the geometry class in the docs, but maybe I need to use C#. No, it's there. It's there. If I do, let's see, triangulate. It depends, maybe it depends on what version of Godot, but it's under Geometry 2D. It's called Triangulate Delaunay. Here. So it's in the Geometry 2D class. Very interesting. You like the unit circle? I was introduced to the unit circle in 9th grade geometry class, and I hated it at the time, but once I got more into game dev and was doing like actual trigonometry and, you know, pointing vectors in certain directions, I was like, oh wait, now I understand why the unit circle is useful. It's just like when you're in a high school classroom and you're just being told you have to learn this for the test, it's really hard to understand the value of it. But if you really understand it, it becomes really, really useful for game dev. Yeah, trig was not fun, no. It's just like, I think so much of the problem with math in schools is just like, it's so contrived, right? It's like, Johnny has 40 apples that increase at a rate of 5 per day. Find the derivative. And it's like, what? I mean, that's like pre-calc, but it's like, what is the point of all this? Like, why do I need to use this? There's very little like actual, here's an application of math that visibly or noticeably helps you. Anyway. I didn't do much trig in school. They barely covered it, yeah. Facts, yeah. It's hard to apply anything, so it doesn't make sense, especially because most have learned by doing. Once we use it for real, it makes sense. Yeah, like in college, I took 3 calculus classes, and I got A's in every class, every semester. And I don't remember anything from it because it was just like, oh, learn how to do the, you know, find the limit of this thing. It's like, cool, I learned that for the test, and then pew, it left my brain because it's like, I don't know, why would I ever need to find a limit of anything? What's the limit of my grocery bill? I don't know. Anyway. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we need to do this. So I need to put a board in here. So I just need a board container and a board, is that it? I guess so. Yeah, I'm going to want to, I'm just trying to think. I'm thinking about how the animations are going to work. Maybe I shouldn't worry about that just yet. We're just going to put the board here for now. Or the board container there, rather. And we've got the board here. So let's do this. Private board. Gameplay.board. Public override void ready. We're going to do clickable control dot clicked plus equals on clicked. We're going to say board dot visible is equal to false. This dot get board manager dot register board. Oh. Is quick move target quick move priority equals true. Board equals board, quick move priority. I don't know. Enchant container. Quick move priority equals 2. Let's move this up. Quick move priority. I guess I don't want to, maybe I don't want to register this actually until it's been opened. So let's not do that. Private void on clicked. We're going to do clickable control dot add input lock. We're going to register the board. We're going to say board dot visible is equal to true. Let's also set the roots visible to true. Node private node 2D roots. I might just do this all with an animation player too, but for now we're just going to get it working. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do private void pick cards. So now this is the meat of it. I'm going to want to add some more alchemical stuff. Okay, so let's do, let me think. The problem is you can't do anything with knowledge until you specialize, and school tries to be as general as possible. I think that's right. I think that hits the nail on the head. I think that's definitely true. You know my least favorite class in all of school was? English. Oh yeah. We gotta read some classic book and then write a paper on it saying absolutely nothing new. We gotta cite a couple of sources in like MLA format or whatever. And then you get like a B- anyway. It's like, what the, like, what's the point? Anyway. I hated English too, yeah. I had to write a persuasive essay for English, and I made mine convincing people to buy Bitcoin for $300 back in the day. Wow, dude. That was the most prescient essay of all time. I had a teacher in high school that was like, hey, Bitcoin's $300. Looks pretty promising. You should buy some. And I was like, I don't know about this. And boy, I wonder if he's retired now. I wonder if he bought like 1 Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin at $300 and now he's like, bye. I don't know. The world may never know. So we're going to pick cards now. How am I actually going to do this? I think maybe I should add... I think I should add a new tag, honestly. That's probably going to be the way to do it. Do I want to add a new tag for reagents? I think I want to add a new tag for reagent, honestly. Because then what I can do is I can go to my card loot table manager, pick modified cards, pick cards. So what I'm going to want to do is cards is equal to this dot get card loot table. Booster card selection container. Set cards. Oh, I need to make this. Oh. I need to make this seated as well. Son of a bee. Okay. Create a new file, reagent configuration. Didn't realize you were streaming today. Oh, I stream every day, Nick. Welcome back. Every day except for Sundays and sometimes Saturdays. Right now, Nick, we're working on. I'm making Alchemy a permanent part of the game, so that when, you know, so you can use Alchemy whenever. And part of that is I'm replacing the Alchemy node that's on the map with this new reagent event, which is basically just a plant that you will uproot, and then that will give you 3 alchemical reagents. And the goal of the reagents is there are going to be ways that you can modify your alchemical output. So one reagent might be an alchemy board size increase reagent, which will increase your alchemy board size. The other one might be like the lead ingot, which guarantees a legendary output. There could be one that guarantees that every card has X crit chance, or at least X crit chance, crit mult, all that stuff. It reduces the turn cooldown by an additional 1 of, you know, the result or whatever. So just come up with like a dozen or so alchemical reagents where you can have a little bit more control over the alchemy output. And those are going to be acquired through this event here. Yeah, you like it? So what we're going to see, I did some light play testing. I got like the very basic prototype of the permanent alchemy in the game last night. I was liking how it was feeling. Also, the other thing I did is I made each alchemy cost money, cost currency, based on the number of cells that are occupied. So every cell that's occupied by a card is a cost of 2. So the larger your alchemy board and the more cards you put on the board, the more costly it's going to be. But that's directly proportional to the power. So it's going to increase in cost, but also the more cards you add, the more powerful it's going to be. So we're gonna get that in place. I want to do another play test of Alchemortis like by Halloween. So we're gonna see if I can get this massive change done and working well before then. You should check the Discord message I sent you a little while ago. All right, yeah, I will do that. I will do that. I'm so excited that reagents are finally being added. Yeah, I think it does make sense for me to, like, it's Alchemortis, right? Like, I should be leaning into the alchemy, like, that's the hook. And I think, like, basically the entire game should be revolving around alchemy. I think that my opinion is that the game should basically not be beatable unless you use the alchemy system. Like, this is going to be like the core thing. Like, this is how you're supposed to play the game, right? It's a good idea. I think that's better than what I had sent. Okay, I'll read it though after this, but yeah. Purple art, legendary art. Thank you, Mio Leo Dev. Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, right, I need to create a configuration for this. Reagent configuration. So the other thing that I probably didn't mention to you, Nick, is that I'm supporting seeded runs. So that means that if you share a seed with another person, they should have the same exact run down to the shop inventories, the reagents that come out of the ground when you engage in this. You know, so part of the issue too is I need to maintain the system that allows for that seeded the seed to be provided. So it's a little bit annoying, but it's all right. Private const int card count equals 3. With tags affinity, no, with tags card tag dot reagent. Min additional tier, that's fine. Get affinities, we don't need this. Okay. What's this board? Yeah, so this is for the reagents that we're adding to the alchemy system. It's basically going to be like a booster, except it's just going to be one board that gives you stuff. Okay. So I need this reagent configuration to be generated in my seeded run, I think. Let's see. Yeah. So generate boosters, generate reagents. Just going to copy this, paste it here, generate reagents. Event type equals reagent. Reagent configuration, new random number generator. Map to reagent configurations. Oh, I shouldn't have duplicated this one. Map nodes to reagent configuration. Okay. Random number generator, reagent configuration. Okay. Generate reagents. Cool. So now I need to do reagent configuration, get reagent configuration for node. Cool. So now what I need to do is so basically what I'm going to do is in here, public void set reagent configuration. Reagent configuration. I will just store that private reagent configuration, reagent configuration. This dot reagent configuration is equal to that. Okay. Cards equals reagent configuration dot get cards. And I also need the tier, I suppose. Is this tier stored in here? It's not. Public void set tier, int tier. This dot tier equals tier. Get cards tier. Okay. Board dot resize. Board inventory component dot resize. How in the world does this work? Cardboard utils, resize board and replace card. Okay. Animation origin. Play drop animation, animation origin. What is that? From origin. I'll just slap vector 2.0 in here. We'll fix that later. Okay, is that going to work now? No, it's not, because I need the reagent event state machine in here. Reagent container.set reagent configuration. Reagent container.set tier. Get current tier. No, context.current node.tier. Cool. All right, I think that's basically it. I think that's basically it. So now let's build. We'll have reagents that do simple things like add 1 poison damage as well. Yeah, I don't see why not. Might as well. Can get tricky. Just have future updates append to the formula, kind of like SQL migrations. Right, yeah. Yeah, definitely gonna, I mean, I'm not, I don't think I'm gonna be too strict about it. I definitely will have to, yeah, be careful not to break seeds, at least for, well, yeah. I guess seeds should be backward compatible with new minor and major versions. Well, not major versions necessarily, but minor versions. After you're happy with the core formula, yeah. I had a secret, you know, I bought your course multiplayer, but didn't even watch it and refunded because I didn't have skills to create a normal game. But today I will buy it again. Okay, that's fine. Udemy has that refund function for a reason. And yeah, I don't really, yeah, I don't think, you know, my courses are not for beginners necessarily. They're more for like people who have some programming experience. So yeah, if you get into it and it's way over your head, yeah, don't feel bad about refunding it. I definitely want you to get value out of the course. Hello, DD Balabag. Been watching your tutorial and they're really helpful for developing my game. May I know where I can play Alchemortis? I want to try it so bad. Well, thank you. I'm going to be running another Alchemortis playtest at Halloween. So probably launching on Halloween or maybe the day before, the day after, something like that. Probably, yeah, either Halloween or the day before. But there's going to be a week of early access for Patreon subscribers. So if you want to play it as soon as it's available, you can subscribe to one of the Patreon tiers, which is linked below, or you can wait a week and I'm going to open the playtest to the general public for a week after that. So the playtest will run for a total of 2 weeks. The first week will be Patreon exclusive, and the second week will be open to everybody. So yeah, that's how I've been running the playtests, and that's how you can play it. So if you follow my socials, you will definitely know when the playtest goes live, so you won't miss it. Okay, so now let's go to the only one I have is this lead ingot, so I'm just gonna mark this as a reagent. Also, let me check something. Allow duplicates. We want to allow duplicates. True. All right, let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. All right, tier 1 alchemical reagents. It just pops in, I click that, and where is the board? We got an error. Board is not registered. Okay. I didn't even call this pick cards either. Where is the board not registered coming from? Add board placement lock. Okay, I think I need to do this in a slightly different way. I can't delay the registration of the board, so I'm gonna have to put the board up here. But then I'm gonna have to do this .get board manager .add board placement lock board. Oh wait, I guess, no, this doesn't need to be, no, this is not a quick move target. It's not a quick move target. So yeah, this is just, never mind. I was overthinking it. All right, let's see if that works. Would you do early access on this game? It depends. It depends. I guess I would not, if I was going to do early access, it would only be for the game being complete, and I would basically just use it as a way of saying, hey, there's more content coming. So yeah, it depends. I think the conventional wisdom now is that if you release an early access, your game should basically be like a finished game. And early access is basically just a signifier that there's more content updates coming. So whether I release it in early access or not, it would be a full game is basically what I'm saying. Very cool. These guys are not reagents though, so what in the heck? Why is that not working? Oh, with tags max count. Oh, maybe I should. I think this is wrong. I think I need to add that argument there. Excuse me, sir, do you have a license for, or registration for that? Yeah. At this point, EA is algorithmically the same as a release, but comes with a worse public image. I think that's probably true. Never appreciated this, but the code is kind of clean. Thank you. I try. There are some messy places, but I think for the most part it's clean. Okay, there we go. So now it's only adding reagent cards to the output. Obviously that's not centered, so I'm gonna have to fix that, but I'm not worried about the animations at this point. I'm mostly just worried about grabbing cards. So now, yeah, we're gonna give the player the ability to take all of them, all the cards, I think, just like the boosters. So I need to listen for that. So let's do this. Private bool has initiated. Has initiated equals true. Let's see. Has initiated equals true. Board.board inventory component dot board state updated plus equals on board state updated. Private bool, no, private void on board state updated. I don't think that's actually necessary. Not has initiated return if board.board inventory component dot get cards, get card count, I guess, is equal to 0, then we can emit a signal here. Signal public delegate void completed event handler. We're going to emit signal completed, and that's going to be listened for in the reagent event state machine here. Reagent container dot completed plus equals on completed. State machine dot change state state cleanup. I think that's it. So let's see if that whole loop works now. So we'll go to the Alchemy, which is now the reagents, bring this up, and it didn't work. I guess I'm aborting this a little bit too early. Okay, I'm gonna have to change. I was trying to be fancy with it, but I think I have to do this. This.get board manager.connect board manager.signal name.card transferred. Oh no. I think it's in here actually. Connect. Card transferred. Callable from. Transferred base card from inventory to inventory. Okay. Okay. Change this to on card transferred. We can get rid of this. I guess I don't really need this has initiated anymore. So we need base card from inventory to inventory. Okay. Copilot is sometimes useful. If from inventory is not equal to board inventory component return, if the card count is equal to 0, emit signal completed. All right. Let's see if that works. Open this up, sell the angel. 1, 2, 3, boom. All right, cool. So now the whole loop is working where I can come in here. Why is that still, oh, am I not freeing that? Oops, I forgot to free this. It's queue freeing this. I need to free the reagent container as well. So in here, this is where I would trigger the out animation. So I would trigger the in animation here, the out animation there, and then once the out animation is finished, I would just await it in here. Then I queue free everything, or I guess I would await here, and then I queue free everything. So the whole encounter is driven by this event state machine, which is kind of just like the coordinator. And then based on what happens inside of the event class itself, it will emit signals, and then the event manager, the event state machine, will handle playing the out animations and everything. So we grab this, sell that guy, goodbye, boom, 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 and then it goes away, and I should be able to go back in. Cool, yeah, so obviously gonna need some animations, fix these visual errors, but now we've got reagents being chosen, which is awesome. And I'm gonna need to make the lead ingot probably less likely to happen. So yeah, I think reagents, we'll just start adding some more reagents into the game. They're all just gonna be cards, so it's just gonna use my existing card setup here, so I don't need to make it too complicated. So I think reagents that I could add, let me, let's see. So let me just start jotting down some reagents that I want, and feel free to add your own ideas for reagents as well. So again, a reagent is just going to be something you can add to the alchemy pot that can change the alchemy output in a certain number of ways. So overhaul alchemy, make permanently available, add reagent event, with animations and sound effects. Okay, and then we'll do alchemical reagents. Increase alchemy size. Board size. 10% crit to all outputs. What else? Something like add 0.5 crit mult to all outputs. We could even do something like somebody said like add a guaranteed ability like 1 poison, 2 damage, etc. Increase alchemy board size, crit to all outputs. Maybe we can have one that makes alchemy free. Something like that. Aqua Regia. Mercury, bismuth. Oh yeah, I should write these down. So theme ideas. Mercury, bismuth, honey, sulfur, borax, various plants, herbs of different types. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. How are we going to clear the backlog? Oh, this, yeah. We're just not going to worry about that right now. Oh, you mean actual ability? Yeah, I mean, the theme is good too. I was in the same wavelength as you on this. Apparently I have stuff like this. Dragon scale. Let's do dragon scale. Newt extract. Very nice. Yeah, stuff like that. Then I'm beat, just no cool chemicals. I have Newt beast claw, yeah. Beast claw. So I'll just start filling this up. I want to get obviously a good selection of reagents in for the playtest, but yeah, I think it'll work. The other thing is, let me think. I probably want to do this now. Oh, wait. So anyway, the reagent loop works. This lead ingot here. I need to do this. Exclude reagents from normal card boosters. Or maybe not. I mean, maybe we don't need to do that. But probably should. Snake oil. Adds unholy. Excuse to have holy on player if thorns don't exist yet. Don't know. Yeah, I would have to create a new effect for that, a new status for that, but I think that could work. There are other things to do. We could do something like guarantees lowest turn cooldown, guarantees smallest card. Increases tier of we could do guarantees highest tier output, stuff like that. I'm just trying to think of all the stuff that goes into alchemy, the randomization. Yeah, that'll work. Holy water, chance to duplicate ability. I kind of have that with Echo. I like the idea of having a chance to add something, though. I like that idea. Because then it's like, it's a little bit riskier. Could even do something interesting like has a chance to double or nothing current currency. So it doesn't even need to be related to cards. It could be just like you throw this thing in the alchemy pot and you use it and it changes something about your run, like oh, remove a random ability. Oh yeah, we could removes random. For things you don't want. Yeah, yeah. What's the name of this VS Code add-on? This is not VS Code, this is Obsidian, and it's the Kanban community plugin. Will you add demerits to these bonuses? Player will have to keep in mind pros versus cons of adding certain reagents that way. Adds 10% crit, but increases 1 turn. Yeah, I don't know. I'm open to doing that, like having a negative downside there. I think that could work for sure. What about a chance to add a random card but with a small chance to lose a card? Yeah, that's a good idea. Chance to increase or decrease the value of an ability. I like that idea too. I'm kind of controlling the ability values through the card tiers, though I don't really have an individual tier on each ability. And I don't really have the tech in place to be able to reach into individual abilities and change the numbers. We could even do stuff like preserves only damage abilities. Preserves only heal abilities. Preserves only poison abilities. Yeah, there's a lot of cool ideas here. So I just have to build out all these cards, but I think it'll be cool. I want the giant cauldron just so I can do the lines double toil and trouble. Basically doing orbs from Path of Exile. Yeah, exactly. I think that system works well. Like that risk reward system. I mean, maybe well is an overstatement, but it's like, yeah, when you slam an item and it gets like super powerful, it's very, very fun. I love that system, yeah. Okay, so we've got a lot of good ideas here. Oh no, can I get this done before the playtest? I think so. I'm just gonna need to grind a little bit, but it'll be okay. I probably won't do all of these for the playtest. I'll probably, try to maybe get 8 to 10, something like that. Enough where, doing the alchemy is gonna be interesting. More and more work, yeah, seriously. Okay, but it's coming along. We've got it going. It's working well. I still have, 10 days to get it all done, so it should be doable. It should be doable. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. When the to-do list gets more new lines than code, seriously. Anyway, it is now lunchtime for me, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your suggestions. And yeah, I'll just be spending the afternoons off stream working on this system, so hopefully I'll have some meaningful progress to show you for tomorrow's stream. And we'll keep working on this probably tomorrow as well. So I hope to see you there, 10 a.m. Eastern. Again, if you want, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. It's the first line in the description below. You can also consider joining the Patreon if you want to financially support the project. And what else? You can join the Discord, that's free. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the stream today. Hope to see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I hope you all have a good day. All right, bye-bye.